Drug Use in Schools with Breanna Higgins, Darren Fleischer, and Natanee. Data is from the School Survey on Crime and Safety, found in the National Center for Education Statistics. Survey responses are from a cross-section of 3,500 public school students. The dependent variables for this study include student training on drug alcohol abuse, and the total number of disciplinary actions regarding illegal drugs. The independent variables include use of dog sniffs, random drug sweeps, number of security guards, drug education, referral to school counselors, and crime where students live.
So the following studies help to inform the variables we choose for this report. The policy implications. If any of the independent variables are statistically significant predictors of disciplinary actions, it may be used for schools and districts to determine what can improve school safety and limit student drug use. It's also important to determine if crime where students live predicts the likelihood of students being provided with a drug education course, and if schools that serve these students should have these programs.
There are 3 research questions in our study. The first research question is, what is the effect of teaching students about drugs on the total number of disciplinary actions, holding other background variables constant? The background variables in this model are crime in students' neighborhoods, presence of school counselors, and total number of security guards. We'll be looking at the overall fit of this model along with the slope of teach students. The second research question is, what is the effect of having both random drug sweeps in schools and dog sniffs on the total number of disciplinary actions beyond having drug education and school counselors? This will look at the overall fit of the model as well as specifically the slope of the interaction term, drug sweeps and dog sniffs. The third research question is, does the amount of crime where students live affect the likelihood that the school will provide drug education to students? This model will use logistic regression to determine if the likelihood of students having a drug education course is affected by living in a high crime neighborhood.
So for the assumption checks, we use 4 assumptions, which are normality, linearity, homodacity, and reliability assumptions. And for the first 3, normality, linearity, and homodacity assumptions, they are not met. But for the last one, reliability assumption, it is met.
After running the regressions, we came up with the following results. For research question 1, we found that neighborhood crime, availability of counselors, number of security guards, and drug education programs explain 9% of the total variance in the number of disciplinary actions in a school related to illegal drugs. This is statistically significant at less than 0.01. The presence of drug education course is associated with statistically significant 0.118 increase in total number of disciplinary actions. For research question 2, we found that teaching students about drug use, the presence of counselors, random drug sweeps, and the use of dog sniffs explains 13% of the variation in total number of disciplinary actions. The addition of the product term to the model explained an additional 1% variation. This is statistically significant at less than 0.01. The slope of the product term is negative 0.269, therefore the use of drug sweeps and dog sniffs in a school lowers the total number of disciplinary actions by 0.269. This is statistically significant at less than 0.01. Lastly, for research question 3, the odds that students do not live in a higher crime neighborhood and receive drug education is 0.368. If students live in a high crime neighborhood and the predicted odds that they will receive drug education increased by 0.768. This is statistically significant at less than 0.01. Thank you so much for listening.